Christmas time is near. Time for toys and time for cheer. We've been good, but we can't last. Hurry, Christmas, hurry fast. We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Janie Mac, huh? The world's in some state these days. But don't worry, it's Christmas now. You're safe. Catastrophes just don't happen at Christmas. Do you ever see a Christmas advert where a load of people get killed? The Coca-Cola trucks skidding along into a high-ace van full of pensioners? No, it just doesn't happen. So keep those spirits up. Huh? Huh? No. By spirits I mean, of course, the Holy Ghost. So cheer up. Have a party. Actually, that's not such a bad idea.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Matthew. It's Owen, MechaGamezilla. Yeah. I was just wondering, would you be interested in coming over for a bit of a Christmas party? You know, a few hot ciders. The Holy Ghost is here. We're going to watch Jingle All the Way.
The following review for Jingle All the Way will contain spoilers for the entire film. If you haven't watched Jingle All the Way, then I highly recommend you do so before continuing this conversation.
Matthew.
Jingle All the Way released in 1996 and sees Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Howard, a stressed father who wants to find an elusive toy for his son on Christmas Eve. My concerns about this film began before I even started watching, as the premise doesn't really make much sense to me.
Let's do this again. Oh, there I am, along with all the heavies. Butterduck, Eamon, the Austrian-born Adolf Hitler, the leader of the Nazi party who took Germany to war in 1939, Gacko the Clock, and Donal. Thanks very much for your picture, and to answer your question, my favourite Scaly Schooly character is the anime trope parody. Someone calling themselves Slam has illustrated my YouTube channel as a jolly fellow surrounded by pure liquid gold. Sounds about right, yeah? Cheers, Slam, and good Xmas to you too. No. That's not fair now. My heart is actually really big. Doctors have told me that if I drink a Red Bull, I'll explode. This is very good. Lovely jumper. Hope Irishland is nice. It is nice. Bailey's Cheesecake? Over 12 cinemas? There's nowhere I'd rather be. That's just awful. There's me, Isabel, and David Cameron. Earlier this year we found out David Cameron was up to a bit of Animal Crossing of his own. Yeah, back in school. Bit of... Huh? Yeah? Shocking. It's not really... No, it's... Jesus. It looks like I'm about to launch an app. Oh, this is brilliant. In fact, this artist sends a really great picture every year, and I realised seeing this one that it's really only fair that I flag them up, give you a link to their stuff. So I'll put that on the screen there for you now. You can, and do go and check out the rest of their stuff because it's fantastic. Well, that's just not any good at all, is it? Oh, now this is impressive. Not like that last one. When I saw that, I had to look up Yule Lads, and I found out that they're an Icelandic group of like Santa Claus thugs. I'm pretty jealous. Oh my god, I've been sent a cartoon. Let's see, what have I got? A glass of beer. Oh yes man, lovely beer, eh? Where's the harm? Where's the harm? Aside from the harm, obviously. Anyway, that's the end of this bit, so we're gonna do the next bit now instead. That's gonna go. It's gone. Oh, it's so funny that he does the green screen bad on purpose. It's like I'd done the joke about bad green screen years ago, and do you know why I did that joke? Because I don't have a good green screen. I don't have a good camera. I'm not looking at the pictures on a fucking thing. It's a fucking Red Bull's horrible. It's horrible. Oh, he's doing a joke about it gone wrong. I'm not.
I don't see why Howard would be so desperate to get his son a Turbo Man when we all know that Santa would just deliver it anyway. This leaves only two possible scenarios. Either his son has been a terrible child this year, or he wants his son to have two Turbo Men for some inexplicable reason. Neither of these paints Howard in a sympathetic light, making it hard to root for the protagonist in an otherwise simple...
In fact, here, look, I'm filming this on my phone now. Look, there's the camera filming that bit. Look at this, fucking mask and tape over a ladder with a pillow to. If the camera falls, it goes there. And I need to put a lamp here because there's not enough fucking light. It's a fucking joke, man. Not a good one.
2015 in review.
2015 is gone, and you didn't achieve any of the things you wanted to. Maybe next year, eh? All you gotta do is focus. Oh, video games.
Wolfenstein: The Old Blood.
The Old Blood was a good expansion, but I mainly want to bring it up to give The New Order a round of applause for being as great as it was. The pure schlocky writing was perfect and allowed them to slip in the odd surprisingly touching moment. So I really enjoyed Wolfenstein, aside from it pushing the tired old idea that the Nazis were evil. They just had different opinions. And if you don't think they're entitled to their own opinions, well, that's bigotry.
Hotline Miami 2, wrong number.
I'll confess this is probably just down to how stinking I was on it, but the first one punished me enough to make the successes feel good, but this time it was a bit more of a slog and the wordy cutscenes didn't help that. I gave up on it before finishing it, which felt a bit like calling the safety word before the golden shower. Just disappointing.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
No, I'm not ready yet.
Splatoon.
What a joy it is to see Nintendo bring out a new IP without panicking and slapping a Mario hat on it. They had faith in it, and it got all the love it deserved. The style, the music, I adore it all. I've sunk hours into it, and with the free updates rolling out all the time, I'll sink in many more. Why not, eh? Why not?
Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain.
It's a mess. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of fun to be had in Metal Gear Solid 5, but it's all been stirred into a massive soup. Like, there's chunks you love, but it's in this great big vat of really bland soup, and loads of the soup has been spilled and lost, and there's fucking microtransactions for croutons.
Undertale.
I finished it and I thought, that was nice. It made me laugh and I liked it. Later I stuck on the soundtrack and I heard a certain tune and I was a mess. A big mushy baby. So I went back and I played the 3 main routes. The words Genocide Run, it sounds like a laugh, right? It wasn't. Lovable characters, genuinely funny, fantastic soundtrack, 2 thumbs right up there.
Uncharted 4 A Thief's End.
As I bounce from crate to crate collecting Wumpa fruit yet again, one has to ask, have the Uncharted games become too formulaic?
Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows.
Do you like being angry? Of course you do. You watch YouTube videos about video games. You're probably angry right now. But not as angry as me when playing Plague of Shadows, the free Shovel Knight DLC, which practically doubled the game's content. I loved every moment of it, even the moments when I was putting my face through the gamepad.
Rocket League.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. I felt a bit left behind when others were praising it so highly. Like when everyone's telling you about how amazingly good that new Netflix show is, and you're just smiling and nodding and saying, yeah, I'll have to check that out. But you know you won't, because you're still only halfway through that Keeping Up Appearances box set.
Bloodborne.
You know when you see amazing concept art and you think, I wish the game really looked like that. Well, that's Bloodborne. As soon as I finished it, I was straight back into New Game Plus for more. Let me be the first and only person on YouTube to say this. I reckon this Miyazaki fella isn't too bad at making the old video games.
Hatred.
The journalists, the bloggers, let's face it, were right. Oh, people said they were overreacting, that hatred wouldn't lead to any violence, but here we are now. And look, the world's gone to hell in a handbasket. The real shame about hatred being directly responsible for the deaths of now thousands is that it should have united them with its ending, which is the funniest thing in gaming. If you've not seen it, bring a friend round and watch it together. Treat yourself, have a laugh, hug it out, kiss a little, softly.
Super Mario Maker.
I was skeptical. That better just be a cheap eShop game, I said. I mean, just where do these guys get off, huh? That's how I spoke back then. But Mario Maker is a treat. Making levels is relaxing and nice, and it's all presented wonderfully. Checkpoints were added recently, so now they just need to sort out the piranha plant delay. Or you'll be spending Christmas pulling fish fingers out of your ass. Oh Jesus, it's happening again.
3D Outrun.
One of those loving remasters that reminds you that remasters don't have to be cynical cash grabs. You can feel the passion that went into it. Well done to all involved, and please consider giving Awesome Possum Kickstarter Machinos but the same treatment.
Godzilla.
It still costs £50. Hey Godzilla, your game reviewed terribly because it's not any good. Really? £50. Godzilla, I don't think that's...
Darius Burst Chronicle Saviors.
When your chronicle is in danger, who else do you turn to? I would have really liked a physical release, especially considering that price. But I'm just happy that there's now a chance to have a game of Darius 4-player local co-op without needing to go to Japan for it. It does mean finding 3 others to play with though, so you'll need a lot of rope.
Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
There's just not enough going on in it. It's very nice and I do enjoy my time with it, but the thought, is this all there is, doesn't go away. And I like designing my house in New Leaf. My house was gorgeous. It was so nice you could have Stalin round for tea and it would still be nice. I'd say, "Oh Joseph, you really did kill a lot of people. Did you play Hatred?" And he'd say, "Have you any Battenberg?" And I'd tell that monster to get the fuck off my property.
The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask 3D.
When I bought my PS4, it came with a free copy of The Order 1886, which I instantly traded for Majora's Mask. I like that story I just told there because in it, good triumphs over evil, and the protagonist is very handsome.
Assassin's Creed, Syndicate.
As I bounce from crate to crate collecting Wumpa fruit yet again, one has to ask, have the
Nintendo Badge Arcade.
If you hate it, it's because you're shit at it. Can't get all the badges without having to pay to play. Don't speak to me, don't even look at me.
Assassin's Creed, Chronicles.
A series of Assassin's Creed games which run alongside the main series of games, but not as a part of the existing spin-off series, which is already... This is another series which is...
The extended edition does nothing to solve the issues with the original film. Instead, the new scenes have a negative impact.
Hi, how are you? You alright? One of the bad things that happened in 2015 was the passing of Satoru Iwata, the president of Nintendo. Now, I'm not the type to jump on a webcam and blub away in front of everyone as if I'm in some sort of grim teens react to death series of videos, but it did sadden me quite a bit. And that sadness only got worse over the next couple of days as more and more stories started coming out from people who had met the man, and it just seemed to keep compounding the fact that he was a good person. We'd lost someone genuinely special, and it was very sad. I mean, who's gonna cry when Cliffy B or Major Nelson dies? Not even their own children. Their own children. But hey, they moved more units. They've got bragging rights, which I'm told is worth even more than love. I watched Iwata talk about when he was working on making Balloon Fight, and I played some and I took up his challenge, and while playing it and thinking about what had gone into it, I had a very controversial thought. Games are actually great. One of the downsides of nerd culture getting bigger is the kind of miserable, sneering country that used to be mocked in the past is now not only accepted, but it's adored. Remember Comic Book Guy from The Simpsons? Do you remember what the central gag of that character was? He was a complete shit. But nowadays, he'd be a YouTube sensation. Angry review, sneery prick reacts. Am I saying never be critical, never be negative? Of course not. It's just, I do see some people, I see them every day. They're angry, and their only contribution to the discussion of games is negative. They're games, and they should be making you happy. I would encourage anyone who finds themselves frequently angry with games or any of the rubbish that surrounds games to just take a step back, if just a week. Just don't engage in all those things that annoy you about games, and pick up some of the games that made you care that much in the first place, and just sink into those ones and fall in love again. I just hope you're alright. Life really is too short.
I can understand why a distributor would want to offer consumers more incentive to buy their DVDs, but I'd much rather
Merry
have these
Christmas.
extended scenes be additional extras rather than altering the film I've already paid to watch. During the Turbo Man episode shown at the beginning of the film, Dementor's hand detaches from his body to fire a rocket punch at Turbo Man. This isn't a problem in and of itself, it makes sense within the context of a children's program, but it returns again towards the end in a much more startling context. Myron, having stolen a Dementor costume, manages the same maneuver without even expressing surprise at his own hand detaching and soaring through the air. What little suspension of disbelief I still had by this point